The boycott is working. And not only is it working, but most Americans support the boycott against Anheuser-Busch. From brewbound.com, craft beer news, events, and jobs says Bud Light off-premise sales and volume decline in first week of boycott impact rough, not catastrophic. I find that acceptable. Rough is a good place to be. Catastrophic would be better. They should apologize. But of course, they've been dancing around trying to figure out what narrative they need to sow to escape this chaos. And there's only one thing you can do, Anheuser-Busch, and it's say, sorry. I mean, isn't it remarkable how easy it would be? Instead, they're reaping all of this backlash because they won't just come out and apologize for sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney. So if they came out and said, hi, I'm the CEO of Anheuser-Busch. Recently, one of our marketing staff sent an influencer package to Dylan Mulvaney. It created a lot of divisive controversy and a scandal that has embroiled us for weeks. We're sorry for sponsoring this individual. We did not realize it would have a large backlash, and we will not do it in the future. Thank you for being a customer, and we're letting you know that we will stand by you. How hard would that be? But they can't do it. First, they tried the whole non-statement on a Friday, put out a commercial showing a Clydesdale trying to invoke 9/11 again. That was laughably bad. Now they're going for the help, I'm being repressed. From CNN Business, Anheuser-Busch facilities face threats after Bud Light backlash. Yo, just stop. Enough. Anheuser, you lost. In one poll, 52% of Americans support the boycott. That's amazing. Now, to be fair, only around 40% said that they would actually boycott, but 52% said they supported it. I wonder how many people are also not being polled or not answering properly, just like literally are not going to buy Bud Light. It's the easiest thing in the world. The easiest thing. All you have to do, not buy Bud Light. Don't buy Anheuser-Busch products outright. So I think you can find it on their website. I don't want to get the beers wrong again. I keep saying the wrong beers, but just pick up Coors or Yuengling. Yuengling's fantastic. Brewbound says, sales data is out now showing the first week of the conservative-led boycott of Anheuser-Busch InBev's Bud Light brand. According to off-premise data from market research and IQ, for the week ending in April 8th, packages of Bud Light showed accelerating sales and share decline, while Molson Coors, competing light lager brand Coors Light and Miller Lite, showed a notable uptick. That being said, while the increased declines for Bud Light were apparent, they were also not completely earth-shattering in terms of magnitude. Now, this will be interesting to monitor over upcoming weeks to see if the slide continues, but for now, it looks to be rough but not catastrophic. For the week ending April 8th, Bud Light posted declines in off-premise dollar sales, nearly 7%, volume down 10%. Woo! Rough. Come on, that is catastrophic. By comparison, for the week ending April 1st, Bud Light recorded declines of only 1.6 and volume of 6.4. So they're actually getting hit by this. On the surface, the trends for Bud Light definitely do show some variance when it comes to sales, with some showing sharper declines in the L1W versus others. On top of just dollar trends, though, it's been Bud Light's share of the premium segment that tells a pretty consistent story, where Bud Light lost share to a more notable degree than its competitors. Hey, here's a picture. All this Michelob Ultra and Coors readily available. I don't know what they're trying to convey with it, but there you go. Molson Coors Light Lager challenge brands were both in the black for the week. Coors Light increased 10% and volume up 5%. And dollar share was up 1.5. Miller's up 16.9. Because you know why? Because people said, I'm not going to buy Bud Light. I'm going to buy Miller Lite instead. Oh, I love it. I love it. We got this one from Unheard. Check this out. The Bud Light boycott is working. The beer company's sales are down after its Dylan Mulvaney collaboration. Oh, boy. Since Bud Light unveiled its partnership with Dylan Mulvaney earlier this month to mark the transgender influencer's Day 365 of womanhood, conservatives have been up in arms. In the succeeding days, a campaign to boycott the beer gathered momentum on social media, with various activists proclaiming they'd never drink another Bud again. Or in Kid Rock's case, unloading a submachine gun into a case of Bud and then yelling profanity at Anheuser-Busch. Amazing. Amazing. Could this be an opportunity for conservatives to finally teach pandering corporations a lesson? To show them that get woke, go broke isn't just an empty slogan. While many brands have become embroiled in controversy after showing support for left-wing causes, few have suffered any real long-term damage. I suspect it could, according to the latest sales figures, Bud Light is down, while Coors Light and Miller Lite are up. Excuse me, allergies are getting pretty bad. What's more, this divergence is mirrored in the stock price of Anheuser, Busch, and Molson Coors. You know, I think it would be fair if I pull up their stock, because I'm actually thinking it's probably, I was about to say I think it's up, but it's not. So here we have Anheuser Busch today, down 0.65 for the day. Okay, but it's probably up over the past 5 days. Okay, so over the past 5 days, they've improved 1.35%. They're starting to come back from this. Now, I want to make sure I point out that going up 1.35%, they actually should have gone up a lot more than that. And what I see here with this story, stocks are supposed to go up. They go up almost no matter what. So I'm not surprised to see that there's some recovery here. And I do think the only thing I can say is persist. Don't buy Anheuser-Busch. Don't forget. Don't accept it. If your buddy brings you a Bud Light, be like, not interested, dude. Just don't do it. It's not hard. It's a couple bucks. Keep up the pressure, because that was the first week of sales. We want to see the second week of sales, and we want to see that every week it gets worse. Now, my prediction. I predict week 2 sales will be comparable and week 3 sales will show no decline. You know why? They're declining by percentage. If Bud Light sells, let's just do a flat number, 100 beers per month. I know it's obviously billions or whatever, but let's say they sell 100 beers. Boycott starts. They sell 90 beers. The media comes out and says a 10% decline in sales. The next week, they sell 80 beers. Or I should say 80, let's call it 81 beers. Then that's a slightly less, but it's still a 10% decline. At that point, it stops. You've reached the maximum amount of people who are willing to boycott. The next week, they say the decline was 0%. It seems that Anheuser-Busch is recovering from the boycott. When in reality, they went from 100 beers to 81 beers, meaning a large drop-off that's not coming back. But if their static relative number is 81, next week it stays at 81, they're going to say 0% change. Then, if it goes to 85, they'll say, it's improving. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that they are down. So, we want to keep up the pressure. As the above chart indicates, the boycott gained mass appeal on 6th of April, when there's a huge spike in interest. And then, what is it they tracked? I want to make sure I got this right. The week ending April 8th. For the week ending April 8th, that is to say, 2 days of data. That's all we got. Yo, next week's data is going to be... I'm really excited to get that data. Let's see when it comes in. It'll probably come in about a week or two. That'll be interesting. They say, as of 16th of April, interest remains elevated. Turning to the chart below, Anheuser-Busch's stock price initially crashed 4.5%, though it has since recovered most of the loss. Meanwhile, Molson Coors stock price has jumped more than 10% because they never suffered that backlash. The divergence may not seem like much, but it's worth remembering that Anheuser-Busch is a behemoth that owns dozens of brands, including Beck's, Corona, Stella Artois. Since most boycotters either aren't aware of this or only want to punish Bud Light, expecting a large decline in the stock price isn't realistic. What is realistic? When corporations first started taking sides in the culture war, there was a sense among conservatives that the market would punish such behavior and offenders would soon learn to cut it out. Events over the last few years have disabused them of this notion. They now understand that simply venting one's indignation on social media isn't enough. To make corporations get the message, you actually have to do something. Well, let me pause right there, my friend. It's because this is easy. We like Netflix, right? Not the company. They've done weird things. Shows like Big Mouth are creepy. But we like watching movies with ease, and Netflix allows that. So when Netflix gets woke, there's a tear between people who are like, yes, but I love this show on Netflix. When Disney gets woke, you're like, but I really want to watch this show. Can't get anywhere else. I got news for you, Bud Light. I can get a light beer anywhere. Bud Light's not that good. It's the beer for people who don't want to drink beer, but want to drink a lot of it. That's the joke that people have been saying. In which case, Coors exists. I think Natural Ice or whatever it's called is also an Anheuser-Busch brand. But yeah, people can easily just buy a different beer and probably happily buy a different beer. You are not unique enough to where people are like, I like the taste of Bud Light over Coors Light. It's like, If it was something like Yingling, which is actually really good, then you might be like, man, but I really like Yingling. You know what I mean? I think Blue Moon's really good. I like Blue Moon. I like Yingling a lot. It's really good. Those are real beers. You know what I mean? I don't drink beer, mind you. So it's like if I do have one periodically, it's going to be something like a Yingling or a Blue Moon. But it's not going to be a Bud Light. So this is the point, my friends. We're winning. Keep it up. Please don't stop. Tell your friends, don't buy Bud Light. Let's win this one. Let's make sure Anheuser-Busch comes out, drops the false narrative, and just says, we're sorry. And I'll take it. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around, and I'll see you all shortly.